Have you ever wondered why your mind keeps getting stuck in an endless loop of thoughts? Have you ever tried to break free from those incessant worries, but didn't know where to start? In today's modern life, we often fall into the state of overthinking, and this doesn't just steal our inner peace, but also drains our energy and happiness. But what if I told you that Buddhism offers the tools to free yourself from this constant mental chatter? Would you be ready to listen? In today's video, we're going to explore one of the most powerful philosophies in Buddhism, letting go, or detachment. This concept might sound simple, but it's a key to living a peaceful, free, and happy life. Letting go doesn't mean giving up everything. It means freeing your mind from invisible burdens so your soul can be lighter and more serene. Let's discover together how we can live a more peaceful, liberated life. 1. Attachment and suffering in life. The essence of letting go in Buddhism is recognizing our attachment to thoughts, emotions, and unrealistic expectations. Buddhism teaches that suffering does not come from external circumstances, but from our attachment to them. Thoughts about the past, worries about the future, or hopes for a specific outcome can all prevent us from experiencing peace in the present. Imagine a regular day when you're working, but your mind keeps returning to past conversations, unwanted events, or relationships that confuse you. These thoughts are not reality. They are just stories your mind creates. We overthink things that don't exist, and this causes us exhaustion and stress. Buddhism reminds us that everything is impermanent. Everything in life changes, from loved ones, jobs, to the thoughts in our heads. So why do we spend so much time and energy on things that are uncertain and unrealistic? The concept of letting go in Buddhism. Letting go, or detachment in Buddhism, is not about abandoning everything in life, but about freeing ourselves from being bound by thoughts, emotions, and expectations. Letting go is an act of releasing ourselves from mental burdens, not allowing negative thoughts to dominate the mind. When we let go, we are not indifferent. We live fully in the present, loving without attachment or coercion. Buddha taught that suffering arises when we cling to things we cannot control. When we cling to the past, we cannot change it. When we cling to the future, we cannot be sure what will happen. We can only live in the present, where true change and peace exist. 3. Why do we cling? Many people wonder, why can't I let go of my thoughts? Why do I keep worrying about everything? The answer is ego. Ego makes us believe that we must control everything from other people's actions to how things happen in life. Ego does not want change, and thus, it often leads us to cling to what is past or what has not yet happened. When we focus too much on the ego, we begin to feel that the world should revolve around us, and when things don't go as we expect, we suffer. This is the attachment to the ego, and it is the root of suffering. 4. The difference between true love and attachment love does not mean ownership. Love does not mean control. While attachment requires us to manipulate everything to make it happen our way, true love is accepting others as they are, unconditionally. Love is freedom, where we don't need to own others to feel happy. Buddhism teaches us that attachment to others, to a relationship, or to a situation only increases suffering. When we love without attachment, we will feel freedom and inner peace. This is love without control, love without fear or worry. 5. Impermanence, acknowledging change and letting go. Impermanence is one of the core concepts in Buddhism. Everything in this universe changes from objects to situations and even our emotions. When we acknowledge that nothing is eternal, we will learn to let go of things that are no longer necessary in our lives. We must also understand that we cannot always change others or our circumstances. Everything will change in its way, and we need to accept this change to live peacefully. 6. The benefits of letting go. When you learn to let go, you will feel a lightness in your soul. You will no longer feel stuck in meaningless worries. and you will find peace in every present moment. Letting go helps you find freedom in your mind, allowing you to live fully with yourself. By applying letting go to your daily life, you will learn to face challenges without feeling stressed or anxious. You will realize that not everything in life is within your control, and what matters is that you let things unfold naturally. 7. How to practice letting go in daily life. Practicing letting go in daily life is not easy, but it is a process that can start with small steps. One way to let go is by practicing mindfulness. When you focus on the present, you will no longer be caught up in thoughts about the past or worries about the future. A simple way to practice mindfulness is when you feel anxious or restless, stop, take a deep breath, and focus on the present sensation. You can feel your breath, your body, and realize that only the present truly exists. 8. Practicing detachment. Letting go, but not indifference. Detachment does not mean that we become cold or indifferent to others. It means that we love and care without being bound, without forcing anyone or anything to change to please us. Detachment is freedom in love, the ability to love without fear of loss or change. We need to learn to love without clinging to outcomes. True love is loving others as they are, unconditionally. Freedom in love comes from letting go of expectations, attachments to what we want from others. 9. Facing fear and anxiety. We often fear change, fearing that if we let go, everything will become meaningless. However, the real fear is what we need to let go of. When we no longer fear, we can live freely, love truly, and experience life fully. 10. Practicing mindfulness to reduce overthinking. Mindfulness is an important method in Buddhism that helps us live in the present moment and escape the cycle of endless thoughts. Mindfulness is not just a technique, it is a way of life. Practicing mindfulness helps you not get pulled into the past or future, but focus on what is happening right in front of you. There are many ways to practice mindfulness. One of the simplest ways is when you feel your mind wandering or trapped in thoughts. Return to your breath. Breathe deeply, slowly, and focus on each breath. You will feel peace in your body and mind, and unnecessary thoughts will gradually disappear. Mindfulness is the way to return to your true nature. When you live in mindfulness, you not only reduce unnecessary thoughts, but also refresh your soul, helping you restore balance and harmony within. 11. Letting go is the liberation of the mind from worry and suffering. For most of us, anxiety is not just a natural response to difficult situations, but a prolonged mental state. We worry about things that haven't happened yet, uncertain events, and fictional stories. However, in reality, it is the attachment to these worries that creates suffering. In Buddhism, letting go is the way to free yourself from negative thoughts and worries. When you learn to let go, you not only free yourself from stress, but also help your body become healthier, as prolonged anxiety harms both physical and mental health. Letting go means accepting that you cannot control everything, and not every issue needs to be solved immediately. Accepting impermanence helps reduce anxiety about the future and frees you from being stuck in the past. 12. Creating space for inner peace. Most of the time, we don't realize that our minds are the source of disorder. The constant thoughts, strong emotions, and attachment to specific outcomes are what prevent us from finding inner peace. One simple way to create space for inner peace is to practice acknowledging thoughts rather than clinging to them. When an unwanted thought or emotion arises, instead of fighting it, you can simply acknowledge it as if it were a passing visitor. Let it come and go without trying to hold on to or change it. This helps you realize that thoughts and emotions are temporary phenomena, and they have no power to control you unless you allow them to. When you learn not to cling, you will create space to experience true peace. 13. Non-self, freedom from images and expectations. Another important philosophy in Buddhism is non-self, or no fixed self. Buddhism teaches that there is no true self, and everything changes. What we think of as ourselves and of others are just images and expectations we attach to them. We are not the images we create in our minds, but are living beings who change constantly. Letting go of the ego, letting go of the images we create of ourselves and others, is the way to break free from repetitive thought loops. When you realize that you are not what you think of yourself, you will begin to live more freely, not limited by your own or others' expectations. 14. Why we need to practice letting go every day. Everything in life changes, and we cannot control everything. However, what matters is how we react to these changes. Practicing letting go every day helps you maintain inner peace, allowing you to live more gently and with less stress. Practicing letting go each day does not mean giving up on all your goals or desires in life, but learning not to cling to the outcomes and accepting everything as it is. When you let go, you are not giving up on life, but giving up the invisible burdens that prevent you from fully enjoying life. 15. Specific techniques for letting go. There are many techniques you can apply to practice letting go and reduce overthinking. Below are a few simple methods you can try. Deep breathing. When you feel stressed, stop and take a deep breath. Focusing on your breath will help you return to the present and free your mind from worries. Recognize and reject negative thoughts. When a negative thought arises, acknowledge it and ask yourself, does this thought help me? If not, you can let it go without thinking further. Practice meditation. Meditation is one of the best ways to let go. When you meditate, you learn to live fully in the present moment and not be caught up in disordered thoughts. Accepting change. Instead of worrying about life changes, learn to accept change as an inseparable part of life. Change is not an enemy, but an opportunity for you to grow and change positively. 16. The journey of letting go and inner freedom life is not always easy, but when you learn how to let go, you will realize that peace and happiness are not distant things, but are within you. Letting go is an ongoing process of learning, not to abandon the important things in life, but to find freedom and peace in what you already have. We cannot control everything in life, but we can control how we react to it. When you let go of unrealistic thoughts and expectations, you will find that you are not only freeing your mind, but also opening your heart to embrace all the good things life has to offer. Finally, remember that true freedom comes from learning to let go of what is unnecessary, to stop clinging to unchangeable thoughts, and to live fully in the present. When you can do this, you will not only free yourself from anxiety and suffering, but also open a door to a more peaceful and happy life.